So landing gear system. Landing gear system uses the reservoir with hydraulic liquid. Here is a pump, and this is a shut-off valve. Okay. So let's say that the landing gear is extended and we want to retract the landing gear. When you put the handle up, the reservoir is gonna obviously send the hydraulic liquid through the pump into the shut-off valve. Shut-off valve is gonna move to the left. I'm putting this arrow here to allow the hydraulic liquid to reach the high pressure chamber. High pressure chamber is gonna obviously divide the fluid into the 3 landing gear and then start filling it up with hydraulic liquid. This one is gonna put high pressure to start retracting the landing gear because he's working against the gravity.
Mm-hmm.
When it's gonna be completed the cycle, when we have the 3 up limit switches activated. So when this is rising, it's gonna come in contact with the up limit switch, and then it's gonna be deactivating the pump, right?
Mm-hmm.
All of them has to be pressed to actually complete the cycle. One of them is not pressed, the pump is still running and putting hydraulic pressure.
Okay.
At the same time, we used to have some hydraulic liquid here that has to come back to the reservoir, because it's not coming back, it's not gonna allow
There's too much fluid.
Yeah. There's not gonna be allowing the landing gear to be actually retract. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Obviously, when the 3 up limit switches are in contact, it's gonna turn off the pump, and then the shut off is gonna come in off position. Now, what about if you wanna extend? You put the handle down, but it's gonna run the opposite way. So it's gonna run the opposite way the fluid. Shut off now is gonna move to the right, putting this arrow here into the low pressure chamber to be dividing all of the fluid in the top of the piston. You need low pressure because actually the gravity is helping you. So it's gonna start extending the landing gear, and at the same time the hydraulic liquid is start from the bottom start coming back to the reservoir to allow the landing gear to be extended. The same procedure, 3 down limit switches are gonna be down. So when they are coming in contact, all of the 3 is gonna shut down the pump. It's gonna indicate
3 green.
3 green, and the shut off is gonna come to place to close both lines. Okay.
Okay.
Now there is an emergency extension that connects a high pressure with a low pressure emergency. Okay. What is this? When you have the landing gear up and you were not able to actually extend the landing gear and you run everything on the checklist, what is going to happen? When you pull the emergency release, so the landing gear was held up by high pressure.
High pressure.
So it's going to release the high pressure by gravity, and the springs start falling into position, right?
Yep.
We have 10 switches, right? We have
3 up limit, 3 down limit,
3 up,
squat, switch, pressure switch, throttle switch.
3 up, 3 down, 1 pressure switch. Remember that the pressure switch is here, preventing too much pressure inside the system. Why? Because let's say one of them is not actually working, this one. The pump is gonna continue running, but obviously this one is gonna prevent too much pressure inside of the line, because then it can explode, right? So this one is gonna disconnect the pump, and it's preventing too much pressure inside of the system. There is a squawk switch that is preventing retracting the landing gear.
That's on the left gear,
on the
right?
left,
Yeah.
The left gear, so basically it's gonna disconnect the electricity from the pump when the aircraft is in the ground. But when the aircraft is in the actual air, it's gonna
allow it to
all the electricity.
Allow the electricity to flow, right?
Okay. And then you're gonna be able to retract the landing gear. Then we have the throttle switch that is below 14 inches, and the gear selector.
Oh, is that that's the horn we hear there?
Yeah.
Okay.
These ones are connected to a horn. The throttle switch starts the horn when you put the power below 14 manifold, and you are in the air, obviously, with the landing gears in up position. When you put it below 14, it's gonna start the horn. Why? Because it's preventing you landing with no landing gear.
Mm-hmm.
And the gear selector makes the horn goes off when you are in the ground and you try to retract the landing gear. It's gonna telling you what's going on. Why do you want
Oh.
to like retract the landing
It'll
gear?
honk at me if we're on the ground and like,
Yeah.
okay.
And then how you stop the horn? So just put the gear selector back down position. That's it.
Okay.
Good.
Yep.
So let's put like the scenarios. Let's say like you put the landing gear down. There's no green.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Piper, you have to run like this. Nav lights off. Why? Because Piper starts dimming the landing gear position
When the
lights.
nav lights are on. Yeah.
When you put the nav lights on, this 3 green is gonna be dim, so you're not gonna be able to see during day operations. If it's not that, let's say that you have 2 of them green, then you can change the bulbs. Maybe it's a bulb.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're replacing the front with this one. Then if it shows green, so it's good. Then what? You can check the mirror if it's available.
Mm-hmm.
Check mirror. Why? Because the mirror is only showing you the nose wheel, but not the main.
Oh, I was wondering that. I was looking at him like, why? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said
it
that.
Depends. That one is not
Okay.
100% like accurate because it's just showing you the nose wheel. And the fourth one is like the circuit breaker of the
Mm-hmm. At the
pump.
landing or of the pump.
Why? Because this pump is electrical, so you have to check if the circuit breaker is popped. If nothing actually worked, you have to cross-check your checklist, and then you'll be
Emergency extension.
yeah. After you correct with your checklist, then you can use the emergency extension.
Okay.
Good.
Good. Sweet.